we're not talking just about the kids that are rowdy, that act out. We're talking about the silent kids. We're talking about the kids that maybe are not, involved in a lot of rambunctious things where they get expelled from school, but they're real quiet. So how do we address all those issues? And I know, participating with you up at Penn State, it was interesting how you brought kids from all different arenas, the jocks, the cheerleaders, the skaters, gothics, and all these types of people. You bring all those people together and get them talking. What's the value of that?
Well, I think the one thing that I do that's very valuable is that I give them permission to talk to adults. So in 2010 school year, I had 49 students come to me with suicide where no adult knew. If an adult knows, I don't include them in the numbers because they have support, or they should have the support. So starting in 2010, 2011 school year, I went 49, 38, 28, 47. It went down to 18, 24, 12, and just finishing off this school year here, 15. And those are only the ones that I'm aware of. Those are not the ones that go to the counselor after I leave the school. Those are the ones that come directly to me and let me know self-harm, suicide, and that where no adult knows. I think that we have to do a better job of just reaching out to the kids and making sure that they know that we care. I think there are some students out there that believe that nobody believes in them, and if they were to die today, nobody would miss them tomorrow. They don't feel that they matter. And I think that, unfortunately, some of that falls on the staff, and it shouldn't, because teachers don't get paid enough for what they do. But they need to be connected with the kids, because in a lot of cases, the kids are key latch kids where they just come home and unlock the door and mom and dad show up just before bedtime. So I think that the students, we need to give them permission to talk, and we need to understand, allow them to see that we have a lot more in common than what makes us different. And in the small group session, you saw that we accomplished that. They come in thinking they're the only one going through all this, and then they realize we're all going through this. Just as adults do as well. And we need to give them permission to talk. And through the small group sessions, so we do the assembly to give everybody the same base knowledge. Then through the small group sessions, we end up giving them the tools that they need to create the school that it should be. And a lot of the incidences that you and I have talked about, we have, when it's all over, there's signs. And if you could get everybody putting those signs together, we could stop a lot of this stuff from happening. The unfortunate part is that nobody's really communicating. And so we need to have the students safely know that they have a voice. So I have students that after I'm done, they will actually contact me and say, this is what's happening with this person in our school. I'm their friend. I don't want to do anything, because if I do, I'll lose them as a friend. And right now I'm the only friend they have. Can you do something? I said, yeah, absolutely. So they give me the number and all that kind of stuff, the name of the person, all that stuff. And even if it's at a different school, I will con that school, let them know what it is that I do, let them know that this is a concern that somebody has, a Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous has about this student. And in a lot of cases, the school's already aware of it or had belief in that area but wasn't sure, and this just gives them that extra information where they can actually act on it and move forward with whatever proactive thing they want to do with this child.
Sure. One of the things that I found unique when I sat there and observed Dwayne doing both, not only the big group session but also the small group sessions, is the fact that it's something that you don't see in schools. I mean, that is, oftentimes you'll see an assembly come in and it'll be a motivational speaker and somebody will motivate you. What does your program offer that's that's unique to, say, someone coming in and doing that? Because this is my observation, then maybe expand on that. My observation is that you teach them how to live the rest of their life. And then you teach them that you can do this within your school, and I don't have to be here to do it.
Exactly.
And you do follow-up sessions with them, and you kind of coax them along the way, and then you say, you can do this, you can accomplish this. So maybe share with them some of those unique components of your program that I think are vital, that our schools are missing, not only in Canada but in America. And the fact that we're not addressing those issues properly.
Well, I think it's really difficult for us to solve the issues with youth because they know the issues best. So who's going to solve it best is probably them if you give them the tools. So the assembly gives them all the same base knowledge. It's a 3-hour assembly, and people go, 3 hours? Are you kidding me? You're going to keep... And so, I had 1,150 grade 10, 11, and 12 students in a school for 3 hours. And the staff were like, we can't even keep them for 45 minutes. How can you keep them for 3 hours? And it's basically, they can play video games for 6 hours if it's engaging to them and it's real to them, you can keep them engaged. So the assembly gives them all the same base knowledge. The
And
small
just
group
let
session.
me
Yeah,
just
go ahead.
add that I sat through the assembly and I was going, this thing's over, because
Yeah.
and that was 3 hours, and it's exactly what you're talking about. So I just wanted to say that I have experienced that, and
Thank you.
it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is great. I love what it is I do. I'm passionate about what it is that I do as well. And so the small group session takes that to a whole other level. And the most power I've seen is when you do a classroom and their homeroom teacher, if the school's set up that way, because not everybody is, but if they're set up that way, and the reason being is the students get to see the teacher as more than a teacher. This is actually a real person who cares for them. So the respect level from the students to the staff member go way up through the roof. The respect from the staff member to the students go further up, because now they realize, this child is this way. It's a miracle they actually attend school, little function based on what they've got going on in their life.
Sure.
And so through the small group session, we talk about life. We talk about, are you being your best, or are you just cruising? Are you just coasting? Because coasting does not serve you. And so I give them some tools and that they can use through there, create a common language within the school that they can use, and some tools that they have as well to keep this thing going. And you mentioned the follow-up. There's follow-ups we can do as well. But what a lot of schools do is they have me come in and do this, and then I earn the credibility with the students. Then they have me come back and do a drug presentation. And then the kids are listening with a different ear, because it's not me just going whop, 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 like Charlie Brown's teacher. It's actually me. They actually say, shut up and listen to this guy, because he's speaking the truth.
Yeah.
And so
It's a language they understand.
absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah. And when you, it's interesting too that, some of the students have said to me that went through the program with you is, and I love this, is they put in their evaluations, they said, you need to do this at the beginning of every semester at the university with all students, because it connects the students with each other, but it also helps them to know that they can reach out and get help from adults and from, campus people, in my situation at campuses. But, that's a very valuable tool for students to be able to be empowered to take care of themselves and to know that it's okay. It's okay to do these things.